Hey folks, I'm here with my good friend Frankie, aka Frankenstein. This is the club that's broken multiple times and I'm testing it out. I hit a couple shots already and it seems to be holding up pretty well. And here's the latest repair that I did. You could see these inserts of ash in the center and hickory on the periphery there. And this is a short spoon. I'm not confident that it will hold up because it's broken 4 times already in 4 different places on this wood, at the neck and 3 different diagonal cracks. So I'm hitting the gutta percha ball. We'll see how it lasts. I'll hit a shot for you here. So that's number 1. And number 2, I want to do a follow-up on the last video that I did, which was asking people's experiences about hitting hickory clubs off of mats. And I want to show you this mat in particular, and let me know if your experience with the mat is similar to this type of mat. So let me hit the shot first, just to show you that this thing's holding up. Hopefully it holds up. We'll have a nice video if it doesn't. So I hit really chunky there. I keep looking at it to make sure there's no crack or anything, but I hit way behind the ball. And you know, it felt like there's less impact on my hands than if I did that on ground outside. Even if it was even wet, it seems like it's softer. The other thing to note is, yes, I hit behind it. Sometimes I might hit slightly behind it, but if you're in a simulator like this and you use the low point distance, which it didn't register because I probably hit so far behind it, but if you use that low point distance to make sure your club head is ahead of the ball using this TrackMan, that'll tell you that you're doing well, as long as it's not the driver. We want it behind. That one I hit thin. So yeah, so low point distance, 2.7 inches ahead, and yeah, so it gives you all the stuff: the face angle, face to path. This is for me, this is the data I like to look at. This is saying 142 yards carry, 156. So I've learned hitting outside that the balls don't travel that far. It's less than 10% difference, I would say. So this club, I would say, is about 140 yards, 138 to about 145 or so. I would say my middle spoon is about 145 to 155, something like that. So this is the short spoon, and it seems like it's holding up so far. So that's issue follow-up number 1. Let's talk about the turf here next. Okay, let's look at this turf here. We have 2 different types of turf. This one, I can get my finger in there pretty easily. I think most mats you cannot do that. Here's another mat. I can barely get it in there. This goes all the way down to the fingernail. You can get a T in there. You can barely get a T on that. Many of them you can't get a T in at all. So you could see also there's no marring on the bottom of the club. And same with the rest of the clubs here. There's no marring. So if you see that, I'd be afraid. You see the streaks of plastic on there, I definitely would stay away from that. This causes none of that. So I want to know if any of you have used this type of mat and had a problem with a club breaking because of impact from the mat. Now I think clubs break for 2 reasons. One is you hit the mat really hard, or the ground really hard, or a root or something hard underneath. The other reason is it hits the ball. For me, I think most of my breaks are due to the ball and not hitting the ground too hard. And in fact, like I mentioned in a comment last time, all of my clubs have broken outside, including this short spoon here, except after I repaired it, I tested it inside, and it's broken since then. But from what I don't think it broke because of impact from the ground. I think it broke with impact of the ball, and it's just really bad wood. So I'm encouraging you to maybe try using an old beat up iron first if you're afraid to use these good quality mats. See how you do with that, and I think you'll gain confidence. Now you can't really do this outdoors because you're going to be using, if you're at a driving range, you're going to be using range balls, and you don't want to be using range balls with these clubs. So the only way you could probably do it is, unless you own your own driving range, is to use a simulator. So that's where I am here, and I'm fortunate to have a simulator that I could go to that's close by my house. So let me know your thoughts on that.